everyone, welcome back to 30 something farmer. Now my plan was to show you my beautiful veggie garden, but I had to go away for quite a while, 8 weeks, and my lovely sister-in-law and husband looked after the veggie garden while I was gone. So it looks quite different to what I was planning on showing you, but it's really a silver lining because now all these videos can show you me fixing up the veggie garden, replanting it, reseeding it, sort of starting from scratch with a lot of things. And in cleaning it up, I'll also be showing you what we're keeping and what will continue to do well. And this might be the first time a lot of you have seen what things look like when they go to seed, lettuce, etc. It looks really different to the plant that you'd see in a grocery store, and something that many of you won't see except if you're gardening at home yourself. And you'll be able to identify from what these looks like now when you'll start to go to seed. These plants have gone to seed for a few reasons. There's been lots of water, it's been raining a lot, it's really nice and warm, and also they haven't been being harvested a lot because there was only really one person living at home looking after this and eating from it. So perfect opportunity for them to go to seed. I'm not going to try and harvest the seed from these plants. These were plants I bought as seedlings rather than seed I planted, so I'm not entirely confident about whether they're sort of hybrid plants, which if I collect the seed from them, they're not going to grow well in the garden, and I'm better off just reseeding with heritage seed that I purchased directly. So I'll show you around how crazy everything is, and then we'll clean it up, and then probably in a later video I'm going to come back through and fix a lot of it up and replant with different things. Cool. Here we go. So this front bed here is meant to long-term be the herb bed. I didn't have all of my herbs in, so I sowed some onion and some lettuces in the interim while I was sort of getting herbs together to plant in there. I also sowed some bigger plants, an eggplant and a couple of other things, thinking that I would be home to sort of tame them and manage it, but then I wasn't home, so that's what's gone really crazy and in its own way really beautiful down the side. There is a rose bush in here. My thinking was that I wanted a rose bush in my herb garden because I wanted to use the edible cut flowers in salads and different things, so that is why there was a rose bush in there. It'll be interesting to see how it's fared. It's really been smothered at the moment. This is lettuce that has gone to seed. And for context, I'm sort of 5'2", 5'3", and this top here is sitting above my head. Granted, it is planted in a fairly substantial raised veggie bed, but that is what some seeded lettuce looks like. We've got some more lettuce and a brassica. I'm not particularly sure which brassica that was now that's gone to seed. It's looking really scrappy. Some more lettuce over here. When lettuce gets this big, it's no good to eat from, which is why you sort of want to stop it from going to seed like this. The flavour and taste is just not there. It's not particularly desirable. In here, yesterday I removed the coriander that have gone to seed. There's been some parsley that's actually hanging on and might be okay, although I might take out this plant and maybe just keep this plant for now. There's also some mint that's become sort of really quite leggy. It's been competing for sunlight. So these plants are really quite substantial plants, and generally you don't plant them that close together, but I was doing a little bit of a trial of what you could really get out of some close planting. Again, the idea was for me to be monitoring it more and be around. I just wasn't around, but you can see a giant, pretty sure that's a cucumber, giant cucumber sitting there. So hey, that will be nice for tonight's dinner, I think, although it's quite large, but still might be okay to eat. This bed was predominantly lettuce. You can see different lettuce varieties again gone to seed. Such a shame because this lettuce isn't really going to be great eating, and I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to compost it and give it to my chooks. These are carrot tops and some radish tops. They'll probably be pretty good. Rain I did thin these out before I left, so these carrots down in here might actually be nice, and they'll come out because I'm going to be eating them. Here we see this gargantuan lettuce. So when you buy seed from places that sell seed, they let their crops get to this sort of size so that they can harvest the seed from them. So if you actually went out to see a nursery where they were growing seeds, you'd probably be quite surprised because it would look more like this, particularly around the time when they are harvesting seed. This is a little capsicum plant. Again, might be okay and quite happy when I pull out all of its competition. You can see some little capsicums in here forming up. There's more down there. So that would be quite nice. There's a bean plant over here. Again, some of these beans have gone bad. They just weren't being eaten and being harvested, which is really a bit of a shame. And to keep your vegetables productive and going strong, you really want to be harvesting from them. Here are the ladies coming over to say hello. They can actually completely jump up in these veggie beds now. I sometimes struggle keeping them out, wanting them to stay out because they eat too much, but because of the way this is, they could have as much as they wanted. Here we have a lovely beneficial ladybug, I believe, although I could get back to my computer and do a bit more research or be told by one of you in the comments that that is not a ladybug at all. Down in here we have some squash. Let me focus the camera in. Little squash are forming up. I really wasn't sure with some of these plants because it was a bit late in the season when I put them in. The broccoli, the chooks have had a feast, but there wasn't really any broccoli for me to harvest from it, to be honest. It went in too late in the season. This is an empty bed. Ideally I'll be using it for cut flowers, but I have to get that organized and probably get these beds sorted out first. This was the very first bed I planted out. It got planted out with a real mixture of things. It had radish and carrots at the front, and then as we went on, I was putting lettuce at the back. It has some coriander in there that's just starting to go to seed again. Oh, excuse the bamboo. These are the coriander tops, the coriander plant that's going to seed there. These lettuce have all gone to seed. I do have some mitsuba though, which the chooks have gotten into. And looks like I have a few aphids, so I could go and buy some ladybugs from Bunnings or Bugs for Bugs. But I've got mitsuba here, which there might be some stems that are nice for our dinner. So we might be having those before I take it all out. So this is an exercise in, I guess, showing you what to do if you're starting from scratch, or perhaps feeling like you're starting from -1 because maybe like me, you've put quite a lot of effort into getting a veggie garden going and it's looking really good, and then something in life distracts you and takes you away and it ends up looking crazy like this, which again, it's actually kind of beautiful in its own way. It's just not functional or productive as a veggie garden. I will show you these onions though, because they have been starting to bulb up, and let me see if I can find. So down in here we have some onion bulbs that are coming through. We had really serious rain here yesterday and in a few days leading up to it, so I'm not sure what that amount of rain is going to be doing to the onion bulbs. This is a red onion variety. You can see the stalk is quite red for that bulb. But you know, I'm quite excited to sort of pull them up. If they're smaller onions, it could be quite nice for salad onions. And here we've got some bulbs. So it's really looking quite nice. So there's, here we go, perfect one on display. So yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff to fix here, which I will go through and be cutting it all down, making a pile so that I can compost it, and then I'll come through and replant it with a bit more of a design. I'm a big supporter of lots of salad crops. So one of the beds will definitely be for salad varieties. And I also plant plants, the same plant in different beds across my garden because they get different varieties of light. And because we're in quite a hot tropical, subtropical climate here in Brisbane, I just like to hedge my bets a bit about how much light and heat they're going to get on a particular day, so that I've got, you know, something reliable there to eat. I can see my little basil in there is doing kind of okay, as is parsley. So there will be some survivors from this jungle. Okay, great. Well, if you want to see me when I'm going through and replanting this out and talk you through what I'm putting in there and the approach behind it, just stay tuned for the next video. Thanks, bye.